Hello and welcome to the Mansfield Town Shirts YouTube channel. Today we're going to be creating a tier list of all the Mansfield Town shirts since I was born, 1991-92 season. We're going to be ranking them on a tier list. Enjoy! Right, so I've got loaded all of the Mansfield Town shirts, you can see down the bottom somewhere. So I'm going to one by one rank these shirts here. So the first one we've got on the list is this one here, which is the 91-92 promotion winning shirt, Ribeiro. That's iconic, that's got to be, hasn't it? We won promotion in that shirt. So I'm not ranking the actual shirts that I have, I'm ranking the shirts as in appearance and everything that goes along with it. So that one's got to be iconic. That can't go anywhere else. We're not having that anywhere else. The next one we've got is the away shirt. Football League away shirt. 2014, 15, 16. That's average. I'm not a big fan of that shirt. I don't even know where to put that in. Poor. I'm not a big fan of that. I didn't like the material. It's not a big fan of that. It's going to go in poor. Sorry everybody who likes that shirt. That's got to live down there. The next one we have is, now this one's a bit of a contentious one because we got relegated to the conference in this shirt, but it's got the iconic FIFA 08 sponsor on it. I did like some of the Carlotti shirts, but obviously the season was horrific in 07-08. That's, you know what, it's going to go in good just because of the sponsor. At the start of the season it didn't have a sponsor, so that made it even worse, but we're going to have to, yeah, that's going to have to live there. The next one is the home shirt from that season. That's, I don't mind the shirt design. The sponsors faded terribly on that shirt, so that disappeared after a few games. Generally, as a shirt, it was average. I'm not a big fan because of the relegation, so I'm going to put that in average, but that could have lived a little bit lower down, but we'll leave that where it is. 94-95 home shirt, strike one, iconic game at Leeds. We lost in the playoffs to Chesterfield, but that's got to go up the top there. I absolutely love that shirt. Abacus lighting across the front, the massive league patches, stripy shirt. You know, like I say, iconic games. I've got Steve Wilkinson's shirt in that one. That's brilliant. That goes in iconic. I love that shirt. So the next one is the first away shirt we had back in the Football League, 13-14. And then won again the following season. I like that shirt. I like the simplicity of it. Despite normally not liking big bold sponsors in the middle, I quite like the one call in the middle of that shirt. So I think that one is going in the good section because I do like that shirt. The next one is a shirt we didn't actually wear, which is the season ticket holder shirt from a few years back, which had the names of all the season ticket holders printed on it during COVID. We didn't wear it, but in terms of the visual and the fact that it's got obviously the season ticket holders' names on there, I'm going to stick it there. I would have loved if we'd wore it. If you've seen the third shirt video of mine on here, you will have seen that that gets a mention on there. But it's a good shirt. It's a nice looking shirt. Interesting whether it would have been white shorts and socks or yellow. I would assume it would have been yellow, but you never know. I suppose it could have been blue to match the blue trim. But it's a nice shirt from Surridge. The next one, this photo is mine because it's a photo of my, well, all the photos are mine, but this one's my shirt as a kid. I love the GTC shirt. It's got to live somewhere up here, I think. It has to. That was a great shirt. Made by Hero. Alan Ward Sports manufactured it. Iconic sponsor. Not a great season because the club got relegated, but which maybe holds it back from being iconic, but it was a brilliant shirt. I love that one. That's got to stay up there somewhere. It's got to be great, hasn't it, that one? The next one is the third shirt from 2011-12. It was only worn a couple of times, so it's quite rare. It wasn't worn a great deal. Just whether it lives in here or whether it lives in here. I do think it's a great shirt, though. I do like it. And it's Herrier as well. I do like Herrier. There wasn't many of them about. But there's going to be a lot of great ones, so I think that probably lives in there. It's a good shirt, though. I do like it. First season of Green King's sponsor as well. Do like that. I do like it in long sleeves as well. Another shirt long sleeve, which again could be up there, is the away shirt from the first season of the conference, 08-09, manufactured by Canterbury. I think that's probably good. That could have gone a little bit higher again. Again, the long sleeve, I do like the long sleeve, but I think that probably sits good. I don't think it was great. The only thing that lets that down is the material. I wasn't a big fan of the material of that shirt. It wasn't great at all. But the look of the shirt, the sponsor's a little bit, the Sutton Pipeline's a little bit out there in your face at the front. So that's going to stay on good. Right, next one. Perry Electrical 2003-04 away shirt. Got to the playoff final. That's got to go up there. A lot of that's due to the team that wore that shirt that makes that a great shirt. I do like the material, a bit of a meshy material. Again, the long sleeve on this picture particularly helps, but nice collar. Again, manufactured by the club, that one. It wasn't manufactured by anybody. It was made by the club's own brand. And I think that's got to go great. I think it's better than those shirts down there. But, yeah, we're going to stick that up there. Next one. This one's Sam Brown's, isn't it? I think 05-06 home shirt. 06-07, sorry, home shirt. It's a nice shirt. I like that one. I think that's better than average. It was made by Carlotti. It was their first season. They had 2 seasons. That was the first one. Very similar to the Garmin one the year before. I like that one. I think that's good. I think that the sort of red patches from the league, from the Coca-Cola patches and the bit of the red on the sponsor kind of help blend in that Perry Electrical sponsor, because the red on there doesn't look brilliant, but it does match in with the patches. I'm going to give that a good. It's a nice shirt. Right, next one. Now this one is definitely up there. That's the 12-13 away shirt. We got promoted out of the National League as champions. Area again. It's very close to being iconic, but I think it probably just lives in the great section. It's such a good shirt though, that is. I think made a lot more iconic by the season, obviously, that we had, the fact that we got promoted and champions, but the minute that lives in great, I think that's where that lives. I'm not going to move that. No, I'm not going to move that. Final decision. Right, next one up, VK Vodka Kick, 2002-03 home shirt, League One relegation season, but I think that's iconic. That era of shirts is something else, really, especially the team that we had then. I think that's iconic with the blue band across. It's a bit of a strange material. It's like that shiny material, the same as the year before, which will come up a little bit later. But yeah, I think that's iconic. I think most Stags fan would say it was iconic, and I'm going to put that there. Right, next one is this one here. Football League Surridge home shirt, 2016, around that time, 1 for 2 seasons. I love the shirt. The player version, I love the play. You know what? I'm going to put that in great. I love the player version, which has got a mesh back panel. The fans version, I don't like the material as much, but I'm going to base this on the players version in the photo. For me, that's great for that very reason. I love the material of it. It's a nice design. The single blue down the left-hand side. I'm going to stick that in great. I do like that shirt. Again, I didn't like the fan version as much, but I do prefer the player version of that. So that goes in great. Next one is we've seen the third shirt from this season earlier. This one here, that one there. I'm going to put this in average. I wasn't a massive fan of the away shirt this season. It was worn the season before as a third shirt, which we'll get to in a bit. So exactly the same shirt, to different sponsor, but not as a massive fan of that. It's a little bit plain for my liking. Not usually excited about that one. So that's going to go in average. Next one, third shirt from our 18-19 playoff campaign. This one, debating whether to put that in a great. I think it's a really nice shirt. It is a really good shirt. It's just whether it's good or whether it's great. I'm going to stick that in. I'm going to stick that great. I think that's a great shirt. It is. I love the green and the gold. I think the pattern's great. The material's lovely. Again, it's got the mesh. The player version's got the mesh. So I'm going to put that in great. That's going to live in great. Up next, 92-93 away shirt. We've seen the home shirt. I think that's got to go in great. It's iconic again for the sort of, a lot of Stags fan will say that that's iconic sponsor. The MTFC down the centre, the big green collars, the badge, the retro badge. It's got to go in there. It's got to go in great. I think it's better than these shirts here. Maybe that's just a bit of nostalgia looking back, but I think that's got to go great. That's where we're going to put it. Decided. And next, I've got another great one here. What's going off? This is going to go up there. It's the third shirt from the season following the green one here. And I wasn't a massive fan of the V on the home shirt, but I think you can see there's a sort of a V pattern in there. I love the material of the shirt. I love the colours. And I do like the pattern on the third shirt here. So that, I think it is. I will classify that as a great shirt. I think, again, it's better than these down here, I think. Next one, I'm going to put in good, and some people will put this down here, and some will absolutely put that up there. For me, it's in the middle somewhere. It's not a Stag shirt. It doesn't look like a Stag shirt. It looks like a Donny Rovers shirt, but it's just something different. It's nice. Again, the pattern is very much not a Stag shirt, but I do like the red and white. And people who didn't like this season's away shirt, I disagree with that. I think the red shirt's brilliant. I think Stags do play in red, and have historically played in red. But I think that's a good shirt. That's going in good. In the middle. Bang in the middle. Right, next one. 04-05. Away shirt. Carlotti. It's a nice shirt. I'm going to stick it in average. Or does it go in good? No, it's going to go in good. I've changed my mind, people. I'm sorry. That's going to go in good. I think it's just because I like the material of it felt better than previous ones under Garmin. Sorry, it's 607. It's better than the Garmin shirts, I find. So I'm going to stick that in there. I think it was good. It looked nice as the full kit. It's a shirt I haven't got a match worn shirt of, so if you've got one, let me know. But I do like the colours saved that shirt from being pretty ordinary, and I think the full kit makes it look better, so that goes in good. That's where it goes. Right, next one is the St George shirt. I'm debating whether to put that in great or into iconic. I love this shirt. I think the full kit, copied by Inter Milan. Debating whether to put that up there. I think it lives in great. I'm going to keep it in great. It's a lovely shirt. The white sponsor make it all look perfect in the middle. Again, a great shirt from Area. Lovely material. The red numbers on the back add to this shirt as well. I'm going to put it in great, but it could have been up there. But for now, it's going to stay there. First shirt back in the Football League, the home shirt, 2013-14, 14-15, the home version of that one. I think it's good. It was our first shirt back in the Football League, so it's slightly iconic for that reason. But I would suggest it's reasonably plain, so I'm not going to put it any higher than that. But it's a nice shirt, and I think that lives in good. That's where that lives. That's pretty fair, I think. Right, last season's away shirt. Surridge's last away shirt, the light blue, worn once the season before at Salford. Again, I think it's going to go in good. It's a nice shirt. I don't think it's great. I don't think it's good enough to break into the great category. I would suggest it's good. The one thing that stops it being lower down is a little toucher. So you've got the MTFC band around the bottom. You've got the field mill, the One Call Stadium picture inside the neckline on the back of the neck. That's a nice touch. So that's why that lives in good. Could have maybe been a little bit higher, but I think some people would put that high, but I'm going to put that in good. Right, away shirt, 2 seasons before that. I do like it. It's going to go in good. I don't think it's great. I think very similar lines along the lines of this one. Nice pattern, also made by Surridge. Nice when sort of the full kit is shown, but probably not great. I wouldn't put it in higher than that. It's not average. I would say it's better than average, but I wouldn't say it was a great shirt. So that one is going to live right there. Next one is a home shirt from that one, from that season, from those 2 seasons. One season with this shirt, one season with that shirt. You know what? It's better than average, I would say. I like the amber, but the one thing is I didn't like the material. I'm going to put that in average. People might not agree with that. I'm going to put that in average. I didn't like the material. I thought it was too thick. Pretty similar to this season's shirt from Castore. I think that it was a little bit thick, and the players' version was no different to the fans' version. So for that reason, and the reason I don't like the material, I'm going to stick that in average. Right, back to 18-19 playoff season. Material saves this one again. It's great mesh on the back. Pattern's average. Looks good with the shorts when the blue, the yellow, the amber and the blue sort of fades the way down. White one call maybe would have looked a little bit better without the white background like the more modern shirts had. But overall, I think that was a good shirt and it was from a very good side we had. So I'm going to stick that in good. That's where it lives. Third shirt this season. ICS sponsor. It's grown on me. I wasn't a big fan at the start. I'm not going to lie. It has grown on me, but I think it's going to live in average. I just don't like that. I can't get over the green sponsor. I know that's their company's colour. I get it. I just don't like it. I don't think it works. If that had have been a lighter blue or maybe an amber, I think that would have worked. I don't think that green works with that shirt. And for that very reason, it's going into average. Sorry, Castore. So we've got 3 Castore shirts in a row here. Now this one, I'm going to put in grey, the red. It's going to be unpopular, I'm sure, because there's a lot of people who didn't like the red shirt. I love it. I love the red. I love the pattern on it. I love the white sponsor that it matches the rest of the kit. It works well with the Food Hub sponsor on the left arm. It looks good with the league patches on the other arm. And the yellow and blue, the badge stands out massively with the red. So I'm going to put that in grey. I think it's a great shirt this season. And a shame that a lot of people didn't like it. But I do. It's probably one of my favourite shirts out of the 3. So that lives in great. Home shirt. Same season, this season. Now, it's going to become... If we get the point, and I'm filming this before we play Accrington, we only need a point. So let's hope we get that point tonight. And we get promotion, because this shirt will potentially become iconic. At the minute, I'm going to put it in good. And the only reason I put it in good, I love the design. I love the retro design of the sort of mid-80s, late 80s design. I love that. No issue with that. What I don't like is the material. I don't think the quality is great. And I don't think the material feels great. So I'm going to put it in good, but only because of the season we're having. I think it makes the shirt more iconic than it would ever be. It would probably be average, if I'm honest. Right, next one is the away shirt from 2009-10 in the National League, second season in the National League. Canterbury's second attempt at an away shirt, following the white one there. I'm going to put this in average because it's quite plain. The black sponsor doesn't look great. I know it caught matches the Canterbury, but I'm not a big fan. It could have done with some, if that was going to be the case, it could have done with some black trims maybe on the sleeves and the collar. So not for me. That's going to have to live down there. Yeah, that's going to live down there. Sorry, Canterbury. Right, centenary shirt from Area. Never worn, but it's a great shirt. It's fantastic. Love it. Centenary 2010. Yeah, I think it's a fantastic shirt. Again, I wish we'd have worn this with maybe some white shorts and red socks. I think that would have looked incredible, but that shirt is lovely. The retro collar. I think Eri did a fantastic job. Obviously, the sponsor very kindly forgave being on the shirt, which makes the shirt look brilliant. I think if we'd have wore that, it would have been potentially iconic, but I think it's a great shirt. I love it. Next one, away shirt, 2016-17. One for 2 seasons. I like this shirt. I love the design. I think it's only going to live there or there. I'm going to put that in grey, and again, similar reasoning to what I'd given for previous shirts. The player's version with the mesh on this makes this shirt just feel so much better than the fan version, but I do like it. It's one of my favourite ones. The blue badge really stands out with the white stag on, so that's a great shirt. One Call sponsor works with this because the colour scheme just works. Although they could have done a lighter blue box around the One Call, but, you know, forgive them that. Blue trims on the sleeves. Yeah, I like that. Based on the 96, 97, 97, 98 away shirt, which we'll get to in a bit. Yeah, love that one. Right, next one. Hymus Holmes, Canterbury. I'm not a big fan of this shirt. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to stick that in poor. There's not many in poor. Just not a big fan of it. Too plain. They essentially the same as the year before, but with a new sponsor on it. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of that at all. And the same goes for the season before shirt from Canterbury. It's the same shirt. You can see different sponsor. Not a big fan. Didn't like the material. Too heavy. I'm just not a big fan of it. I think the colour was a bit uninspiring. Just a bit dull. It didn't really pop off the shirt like some of the more brighter colours here and there have done. So that's going to live down there. Again, sorry Canterbury, you've not scored very highly on this. Right. 94-95 away shirt, also 195-96 with a different sponsor. I've kept this version as the only version, but I'm going to stick that in the middle somewhere because green and purple and white, for me, didn't make the great shirt, and the pattern on it. I love 90s shirts and I love 90s Mansfield shirts. But for me, it's not one of my favourite. The purple numbering on the back, I'm not a big fan of. The felt. So I would say it's good, but not any better than that. Some Stags fans may have that up here, but not for me. It lives down there. Sorry. Right, 95-96 home shirt. Stag Sport, so homemade. It's different. I'm going to put that in good, but it's different. I think the colour was very different to what we'd previously seen. We'd had back-to-back sort of different Mansfield home shirts from what we're used to with the stripes, and then this version with a massive stag on the front, ironically facing a different way for players' shirts. If you didn't know that, the stag was facing a different way. Martinsville Bitter, iconic sponsor, their first season as sponsor, so could maybe have been a little bit higher, but I like it where it is. Let's leave it there. Right, 2001 home shirt. Eventually had Thor World printed on it, but not a big fan of that. Had the MTFC down the college, I didn't mind, but no, not a big fan of that one. Personally, that one's going to live down there. It may have gone into average, but you know, it's not one of my favourite shirts. We had a reasonable season. We had a good team brewing. Obviously got promoted the following season, but yeah, for me that one's going to live down there. Next one, away shirt. 2018, 19, 19, 20, before we had the blue. It's a nice shirt. I like the pattern. Just debating whether it goes there or there. I'm going to put it in good. We obviously had a great season that year, the playoff season with this shirt, but the gold number on the back saves the shirt as well because it just makes the whole shirt sort of pop together. I do like it. I just don't think it doesn't live any higher than that. So it's going to stay in good. That's where it lives. Next one, 99-2000. I'm going to put that up there. I'm going to call this the waffle shirt because the material is what can only be described as some sort of waffly material. Horrendous to wear, but iconic. No sponsor. We couldn't get a sponsor. Russell Athletic were the manufacturers. And I think they did a great job with this shirt. I really do. I think they did a great job. I think made iconic by certain games, Rotherham game, Chris Greenacre playing in that shirt, Alistair Asher, that sort of players who I really liked as a kid growing up. So that shirt is, for me, it's great and easily fits up there. Another shirt that I love and probably won't fit that high up in other people's is this one from Area. Hymus Holmes, white sponsor. We got to the FA Trophy final and of course, as be a Mansfield, we lost. But that, I love the material. I love the darker amber with the white and the black. I love that. I think that's the three colour. That sort of shade of amber I really do like, as opposed to the sort of brighter yellows. I do prefer the amber colour, and I'm a big fan of that shirt. I think the design where the stripes disappear as it comes down, I think is a fantastic design from Area and one of my favourite shirts. So I wouldn't say it was iconic, but I would certainly say it was a great shirt. And I've short and long sleeve I've got, and the long sleeve looks even better. 0405 Garmin away shirt. I'm going to put that up here, which is contrary to saying about some of the Garmin shirts earlier that I didn't like the material. The orange, I think, makes the shirt. With the orange shorts and orange socks, this kit was great. And we had some really good players in this shirt. Tom Curtis, Alex Baptiste, Jake Buxton, Derek Asamoah. We had a really good team that year. Albeit it didn't quite perform as well as the season before. But the sponsor doesn't look out of place. I think everything looks right on that shirt. And when it's the full kit with the shorts and socks, it's fantastic. So that's great. Not iconic, obviously, but great. This is another National League shirt, 2011-12, before we got promoted, so the one after this one. I'm going to put it in average. It's a bit too... I know you've got the sash across here, but don't really get it. Not a massive fan of that one. Sponsor doesn't really stand out with on the amber, so not a massive fan of that shirt. It was the season before we got promoted. Area's second to last home shirt, but no, it lives down there for me. Right, we have one that's definitely going straight into iconic, and I don't think anyone will disagree with that. It's the 12-13 promotion winning, title winning National League home shirt. Again from Area, but the two vertical stripes. Love this shirt. Obviously iconic for the season we had, but with the yellow shorts, I thought it was a fantastic shirt. Brilliant. This one's Matt Green's, the one that you can see in the picture. Obviously, absolute club legend, but brilliant shirt for the Stags. Massively important season in the club's history. Iconic wins at Hereford in this shirt means that this, for me, can't be anything other than iconic. So another shirt that's clearly going straight into iconic is the last time we got promoted out of League Two, 2001-02 home shirt. Homemade by Stags, VK Vodka Kick sponsor. Completely iconic for the team that wore it rather than the shirt itself, but I've no regrets in sticking that in iconic. It's one of my favourite shirts. It's actually behind me there. Absolutely adore this shirt. Got to be up there for every Stags fan's favourite shirt. It has to be. So it's in there anyway. This is the playoff final shirt, but it was worn the following season, 04-05, but we lost the playoff final in this. It's a good shirt. I think I'm going to put it in good. I think it needs to live in good. I don't think it can live any higher than where it is, to be honest. So up next we have the NHS shirt. It was only worn once. I think this is... I'm debating between one and the two. In terms of a one-off shirt and purely for its appearance, ignoring obviously the good cause that it was for, I think the shirt itself is great. I think the colours really bring out the amber of the shirt, which was different to the home shirt at the time, which was this one. And it's like a meshy material, and there was only the players' version released. There was only one version released, and it's brilliant. I love it. Fans could bid for the shirt in auction, and the replicas that were sold, money went to the NHS, so it was a great cause. Yeah, I love that shirt. I think it's great. It's not iconic, but I think it's great. I think it's better than the ones down here. Right. This is going to be a tough one. I'm going to... Ah, dear. I'm debating whether I'm right in this, whether this should go up here in iconic or not, or whether it's just great. I love it. I absolutely love this. You know what? I'm going to put it in iconic. Or am I not? I'm putting great. Oh, God, I'm so indecisive sometimes. I'm going to put it in great for now, but it's one of my favourite shirts. Certainly one of my favourite away shirts. That was obviously a remake of it by Surridge. I'm going to stick it there for now. I might change my mind. I don't know. Right, centenary shirt. I think this is... I'm going to put this in iconic. I think this is iconic. You know, the season, we didn't achieve anything in 97, 98, but the shirt, it was a centenary shirt. It was basically worn as a away shirt, with the white shirt being worn once. But for me, personally, this is an iconic Mansfield shirt. And obviously sprung a later shirt, which I'll show you in a minute, but I think that's an iconic shirt for me. Right, The Mansell bit. This can very easily go here, but I'm going to pop it here because I don't think it's iconic, although it is. You know what? I am going to put that in iconic. Sorry to the white one, misses out. Just because I see so many Stags fans with this shirt, and it was one of my first shirts as well, along with the GTC one. I just love the pattern. It's made by Beaver, the same as this one and this one. It was worn 96 all the way through to 98. It's worn for 2 seasons. The badge is brilliant. The long sleeve makes it look even better. Yeah, that's going to go in iconic. I could have dragged this one across to make all 3, but for me, it's iconic anyway. Right, another one that's going straight into iconic is the away shirt from the promotion season. This version you can see is Matt Piper's from that promotion season. You can tell by the square patches. I think it's iconic. It's an absolute. It's the same design as the home shirt, just with the different blues. We wore it in that season as well, in the promotion, the League One season. But I think it's iconic. Any of the VK shirts for me are completely iconic. Any Stags fan will tell you that, and that's why that one lives there. Right, the V-neck shirt. I'm going to pop it in average because I think it didn't get a great reception with some fans with the sort of rugby connotations with the V on it. Looked like a lot of rugby league shirts at the time. The player version is different. It's got the mesh back on it. But for me, it's just at average. I don't think it's any higher than that. It's a nice shirt, but I don't think it's quite as good as some of the ones that are up here. So I'm going to stick it in average. One of the only Surridge shirts down here, but I'm going to stick it there anyway. Right, Garmin, Perry Electrical, 0506, sorry, home shirt. I like it. I do like it. I think it was. I don't think it's quite as good as the away shirt they produced the season before, but it's a nice shirt. I think good is about right for that shirt. I don't think it's average. I think it's probably better, slightly better, with the mesh side panels that I quite liked. And the Coca-Cola Elite patches probably make the shirt a little bit better than it is, but it's the highest. Well, no, it's the second highest Garmin one. I think that's where it needs to live. It needs to live in good. Right. I'm going to stick this in iconic because I think it's an absolute. I think it's one of our best modern shirts. I think it's our best shirt in the last 20 years, which is the 16-17 third shirt, which was 20 years on from this here, the original centenary shirt. And Surridge did a brilliant job with it. No sponsor, so one call said we don't want to put the sponsor on, which is a great gesture. Surridge in white and the Stags badge in white. Love it. Adore that kit with the white shorts. It looks, it looks brilliant. It's one of our best ever shirts. So for me, it has to be iconic. Can't be anything else. The white collar, the 1897 logo on the back. Yeah, got to be iconic. Can't be anything else. Right, so we're back to the National League days. You'll say, well, this one has to go in. If this is the 2010-11 third shirt, it has to be the same in average with the Green King one, doesn't it? No, it doesn't. It goes for me in good. Because it's a lot rarer and the team got to the FA Trophy final. We beat Luton in the semi-final in this shirt. Wasn't worn that many times, and it wasn't sold with the Hymas Homes on it, which makes it a little bit rarer. So I actually think this, and the sponsor makes this shirt look better than the Green King sponsor, I think. So it lives in good. That's why that lives up there. Right, 2001 away shirt. That was the home shirt down there next to it, just there. But I think this is a great shirt. I think the colour scheme has not been seen before. The claret shorts that match the collar, I think, were fantastic. And I think the addition of the sponsor late in the season, although it didn't really match anything, I think made this shirt even better. It's quite a rare one as well. Don't see many about. That's the reason why I think this is a great shirt. And I think it's a lot better design than the home shirt. Don't like the collar on the home shirt. Right, Russell Athletic 2000-2001 away shirt. The home shirt's a lot higher. I don't really like the home shirt's up here somewhere. Where's that there? I don't really like the away shirt. The GMB sponsor is just too big in the middle. Looks very much what people might call a bit Chesterfieldy, which is the worst thing anything could be. So yeah, I don't think that's a great shirt. I'm sticking in poor. Sorry. Right, season before then, Russell Athletic here, this one here, Sorry, this is the home shirt to that shirt I was talking about. 98-99 home shirt. Again, I'm not a big fan, to be honest, of that shirt. That probably, you know, deserves to be down. I'm not a big fan of that. Eventually, I'd add mag on the front, so this version's just a plain one. But yeah, not a great fan. Sorry, of these two. They're both from the same season of 98-99. No, sorry. Right, let's picks up a little bit. 93-94 home shirt. I'm gonna put this in great. Put it to the end there. There we go. Abacus Lighting, made by Pellada. This one's Stuart Hadley's that you can see there. The different badge on the players version to the fans version. The material's great. It did have a different collar for the start of the season. In March, that season 94, that changed to the V-neck collar at the request of the players. But I think it's a fantastic shirt. I absolutely love it. And I think it deserves to be up there with great. It really does. The away shirt for that season, I'm going to stick in good. I just don't like it as much as the home shirt. Albeit it is a really nice shirt. I just don't quite like it as much, for me personally, as the home shirt. I just like the home shirt a little bit more. It's just too big. It's massive, and the collar, the cuffs isn't just a black colouring. It's a physical cuff. It's massive. So for me, that goes in good, and that probably lets it down over going in great. Right, this is definitely iconic. There's no argument with this one. It's the away shirt to the 91-92 home shirt. Gunthorpe Textiles, Ribeiro made fantastic shirts for the Stags. Love the green badge. Love everything about the shirt. Promotion, fantastic. Has to be iconic, and I think would be iconic for most Stags fans. And yeah, very easy to put it that high up. Right then, Garmin away shirt. 0506. I think I'm going to stick it in good. I was debating between average, but I do quite like it as a full strip. When it's a full strip, you can't really quite see on this photo, but there's a yellow mesh panel down the side. I do like that. That is a kid's shirt of mine, which is why it looks so small on the picture. But I think that lives in good. I think that's... I don't think it needs to live any higher. Right, we have one shirt to add in. The last shirt, which is the 99-2000 Russell Athletic away shirt. Purple. I like this as a kid. I thought it was a lovely shirt. I'm going to stick this in great. I think it's a great shirt. It's the away shirt to this one here, 99-2000, sponsorless. I love the full kit with the white shorts with the purple down the side. I think it's a lovely shirt. It would have been nice maybe with a sponsor, a white sponsor maybe. But yeah, I think that's a great shirt, and that's got the place in great, I think. Right, so you can see the final list in front of you here. Thank you very much for watching. First of all, let's be ramble on about Mansfield Town football shirts, as I always do. If people want this to be made available, then I happily will. Just let me know in the comments if it's something that you'd like, and I'll find a way of making this public so everyone can use the photos and can make their own Mansfield Town shirts tiered list. If there's anything you agree with, disagree with, again, let me know in the comments. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel if you already haven't. Any support is much, much appreciated. Thank you very much, and see you in the next one.